So 22 years ago, we lost Aaliyah. That never sat right with me. And just within the last few years, people have been coming out, speaking out, and things, I guess, slipping out. And now fans, been wanting to push for the investigation, for the case to be reopened. And it makes sense, that it just seems weird. There's so many weird things about it. And as for the album, the Unstoppable album, people keep commenting on the old posts when I made announcing the album and it was supposed to come out within a month's time. That was like January. Was that 2 years ago now? A year ago? I don't remember. It was some time ago. I think it was almost 2 years ago. Nothing ever came out. No one said anything. There was no word of it being canceled or just postponed. Nothing. But I'm kind of not surprised either because they were getting a lot of backlash for the quality of Poison and then also the names that were featured on the album. I think they kind of went about it the wrong way. I think they were trying to please, how do I say this? They were trying to situate Aaliyah in these days and this times with these artists. And it's like the fan base don't really fuck with these people. So I think fans just would like to actually hear her with other artists that she once worked with or would have liked to work with. But I don't think would have gotten that considering the family's lack of involvement and approval for the project. So if it wasn't done right, we wouldn't have gotten what we wanted. And I think that's why they just pulled the plug on it because it didn't compare to the music that she put out prior or that she did put out all her albums. There's a certain quality to it, and I don't think we would have gotten that. Not yet, anyways. We only have one time to hear this thing. So they only have so much material to work with, right? They got to do it right. We've been promised this album how many times? 2-3 times. Obviously, the titles changed and stuff like that, but we've been promised an album quite a few times. The one that Drake was supposed to be all over or work on some time ago. I think that would have been a dope vibe. The clips sounded good. And I like Enough Said, but just without Drake. And that's no shade. I just prefer the solo version. But yeah, 22 years. And throughout this time, we've really gotten not much of Aaliyah. But it's in those moments where her name is involved in things. And it's sad to say, the R. Kelly situation with the things coming up and people coming forward, speaking out. Of course, her name's going to be involved. But even on birthdays or the times when her music was released and her anniversaries, her name is always trending on Twitter. And it's impressive to see an artist that long ago who hasn't had even the music she did make wasn't even available. So it's impressive to see her name, still have that type of weight and pulling in these types of results in this time and age, years and years after. It's like people are still checking for Aaliyah. I don't think we're gonna get much else at this point moving forward. I think her rights, her masters and all that lies in the hands of someone that it shouldn't be in their hands. And for the people that I feel will do it justice, will do right by Aaliyah's name and her music, I don't think they would be involved unless her mom and her family's approval in it. And I don't think we'll ever get that. We won't get a biopic, that's for sure, because you can't tell us a story without mentioning the R. Kelly situation. So I don't think they'll ever do that. I said this before, I'll say it again. The only time I think that we can actually see Aaliyah in any type of biopic that showcases her music and what she's contributed to music, the industry, and hip hop is through the eyes of Missy and Tim. And hopefully they do some sort of biopic or series at some point. I feel like they deserve a series because if you read Tim's book, there's a lot that went on and it shouldn't be rushed. It shouldn't be rushed. We should really soak in those moments of celebrations of how they became such a force in hip hop. And we honestly just want to experience Aaliyah's music again. And I think that would be such a great way where we just avoid the personal and the drama and ever mentioning R. Kelly's name. And we kind of just get the introduction to Missy and Tim meeting Aaliyah and then obviously making that album 1 in a Million, and then just everything, just her in music, her as music, and then the loss of her and her absence in music. should definitely be done that way. It could touch on things for Aaliyah's story, so without getting too personal, that's how I think they should go about it. And I see comments too about Rock the Boat and Access Granted, where they can't watch that video or that episode of Access Granted, and it's kind of, there's this eerie feeling to it. Like there's just this feel to it of, it's just counting down the minutes, the seconds. Super sad, man. Anyways, I just thought I would talk a bit about Aaliyah today. Also get a moment to touch on the album that we never got, that people keep asking about. I don't think we're going to get it, guys. So I don't think we're ever going to get anything again. We got what we got. At least we have that.